Sup guys, it's Sean here. I just want to quickly say that I will be hosting my first ever webcam locals. The prizing is going to be a box of BT17, Secret Crisis, or a cash payout. Additionally, our amazing artist, Luis, he has made some very beautiful art for us over the past years. That's going to be available as additional prizing in the form of playmats. So yeah, if you guys are interested in joining a fun, friendly, and competitive community, come on and join the official Doo Destined webcam locals. It is going to be this Friday, August 23rd, 7:30 p.m. EST. Make sure you join the Doo Destined Discord. Links are going to be in the description, and I hope to see you there. Thanks. Bye. What's up guys, it's Sean Career with Team Digimon here, bringing to you another video. This time around it's going to be a deck profile video of the recent deck that I showcased earlier in the channel. It's the Digimon box, golden bucket, free box, whatever you want to call it, deck. It's the deck that utilizes the bottom end of Imperial. So Davis and Ken, all of the searchers, the Digimon SR, and the new broken option of Return of the Primo, while utilizing the broken top end of Magnemon X Antibody. The deck has a lot of potential. In fact, it recently got a similar version of the list. Got a top in one of the regionals, I believe. So if it has the potential to top a regional, of course, the sky's the limit with this deck. So I'm going to stop talking and get to the video. So let me start with the rookies, of course. Similar to the other Digimon, to my Imperial Digimon deck, I'm running the 4 draw eggs just to increase consistency. If you have a green Digimon when attacking, draw 1. You can get this off a lot. Double effect. Swinging with your level 4 and then Joggersing, getting it off again. It's pretty good. Lots of draw power in the deck for sure. And then we have the Searcher Vmon on play, search top 3, and then add Imperial Dramon are free, and a Davis Ken, or a Davis Motomiya. And then end of turn, you get the Joggers. This is the best rookie in the deck because it's a Searcher you can potentially add to, and then you get the Joggers. Not much to say about that. With that being said, we have the follow-up Wormmon, not as good, but still pretty good. You get to do the exact same effect, but it adds a Ken, so not as great because you can whiff your Davis, but it's all right. Then we have 2 of the Vmon this time. Had to make space for a different Vmon, but this is the one that reduces Digivolution cost by 1 if you have a Tamer, and then you get to draw even more cards with the one attacking. If you have 2 or more colors, draw a card. So this with the draw egg, really good. And then the other Vmon that I made space for, this is the blue-red Vmon from BT17. When one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves, if it has free trait and if it has a free trait or it's green, gain a memory. So honestly, this is another way to facilitate memory gain, but also the inheritable of plus 2 KDP. I added this in just because I wanted to have a better matchup into Magna. In case I go into some sort of mirror, I want to have extra DP to swing over in case that ever comes up. And also in the event that, let's say, you don't have the jamming inheritable, plus 2k DP might actually end up saving you, because then Digimon will end up swinging for, what is it, like 10k? So that's pretty good. And then of course the one of Wormmon. This Wormmon can come in clutch when you play it, which is normally what you're going to be doing. You're going to be able to Digivolve into a Digimon with free trait with a reduced cost of 1. So whenever you're missing a piece, usually it's going to be in the trash, so you use this guy to get you out of a sticky situation. For the level 4s, of course, you got to run it for the XVmon. When the DNA digivolving, you gain a memory, and then it gives itself jamming. Self-explanatory jamming is the most important part. The most important part of the deck in terms of like what you have for your level 5, so that way you can swing into security without having any fear with your level 5. So that's why we're running the jamming, the old one, the old EX1. You're literally only running it for the inheritable and the free trade. So 5x Vmons. And now for the difference between the normal Imperial stuff, we have our armors. So first up, we have 3 Togomogumons. This card's actually pretty darn good. It has blocker, armor purge, so adds a little bit of defense into the deck. And then it has the all turns effect. When opponent's Digimon becomes suspended, trash the top Digivolution card of one of their Digimon. Then one of their Digimon with no Digivolution cards can't attack or block until the end of their turn. So this can really come up in Rookie Rush decks such as Ancient Guard. In the event that, let's say they have an Ukumon and they're trying to do multiple rookie swings, you can trash a card and essentially freeze them from attacking. Also, this can come up in the Magnamon Mirror. In the event that Magnamon acts anybody, let's say it's the start of their turn and they're trying to swing, you would simply just trash their Magnamon and they would not be able to activate their when Digivolving effects of gaining a protection. Next 3 armors, it's going to be Ladramon. Digivolves into Vmon for 2. Oh, this Togemon, the Togomogumon, Digivolves into Wormmon for 2. This one Digivolves into Vmon for 2. So you get a bit of variety there. It's pretty nice. But of course, their counterparts, if you just Digivolve into a blue or green, you Digivolve for 3. And then for this one, blue or green, Digivolve for 3. Or Digivolve into, you need to have a Vmon in order to Digivolve for 2. This is super nice in case you want to swing into a rookie and just let's say you want to get more draws off with your egg before you go into a DNA. That's always super, super nice. And the last level 4, we have 1 Stingmon. Had to make room for the armors. I hate that I'm running this as a one-of, but you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure that you have armor form in your traits. Stingmon unfortunately is non-armor, so you can't do that. Sometimes I also don't even want it's weird because sometimes the piercing can actually be a hindrance if you don't have the jamming, so it can be kind of scary, but of course the DNA Digivolving gaining a memory is always super nice. Alright, for the level 5s, of course we have to run the SR. I don't need to explain this card. This card's broken. Suspend everything, and then your opponent's Digimon can't unsuspend. That is pretty darn good. And then, of course, you swing and unsuspend, and then it has partition. Not much to say about that. This is why Imperial is broken. Really works well against decks like, let's say, Dexter Gora, where there's a bunch of bodies on board and you just need to suspend it so that your Digimon don't get blocked and they don't get wrecked. But adds a lot of pressure, and there's a reason why it's a 4-of. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets hit at some point. For the last level 5s, we run 3 Paildramons. Not much to say about this one as well. Swing on suspend, that's the main reason you play it, but the bottom decking is also nice. And now for the boss monster, this is the only level 6 that you run in the deck, well, that I'm running in the deck, and it's 4 of the Magnamon X Antibody. So this card is just really, really good. Everyone knows how broken this card is. It's actually a really, really good answer into a lot of decks right now. Of course, Ancient Guard can kind of play around it with the Koji Tamer, but let's say they don't have it, it's kind of hard to get over this, just because you can't bounce it because it'll have its protection and then you can just block, and it really slows your opponent down. Of course, it also works really, really well with Return of the Primo, and I'll get into that in a second. But being able to gain immunity, gain plus 3k, and unsuspending always adds all the pressure in the world when you have a giant unkillable blocker stack. For our last Digimon, we have 2 Shine Greymon, Rune Mode. Rune Mode is so good into the meta. If you guys watched the match video, finished off the red hybrid player by going into Rune Mode, and it's actually pretty solid into stuff like Ancient Guard. I kind of mentioned this in the video as well. Just because, of course, this will wipe out any rookies. If they can Ancient Guard they can go into Kendo, but then as soon as they go into Lobo, it'll be 5k. So then it just dies. They can't warp. Against Imperial, if you wipe out their stack and let's say they partition, it's going to be minus 5k in the board. So it's going to kill all the level 4s because everything's 4k. They're not even going to be able to use their Davis and Ken effects because as soon as they drop their Vmon or Wormmon, it's just going to instantly die. So this is a really, really good card in the meta if you just think about it. That's why I'm running it as the 2 of, just because I was running it as a 1 of for a while, but then I was like, wait, this card's like way too cracked, especially when paired with Magnamon X Antibody. If you Digivolve this while this has protection, then it's a Ruin mode with protection. It's like, that's impossible to answer. So that's pretty much like game, set, match right there if you're able to like pull off this combo. Because then you're essentially doing minus 5k. You're guaranteeing minus 5k to the board in 2 turns. And at that point, it's just completely over. So that's it for the Digimon. Starting up with the Tamers, of course, you have to run 4 Davis Ken. This Tamer's broken. I can see it getting limited as well. Play a Wormmon or Vmon for free. And then you get to gain a memory when you Digivolve, and if DNA Digivolving, you strip resources. Best card in the deck, to be honest. Don't need to say much about that. And then we have 2 Davis. I wish I could run this at 3, but there's no space. I mean, I guess you could cut out a few of these option cards, but I think 2's a pretty solid spot. Next up for our options, we have 2 of the Return of the Primogenitor. This card is not restricted to just Imperial Dramon cards for its main effect. So you can actually play this card for 2 and then Digivolve into your Magna for free, basically. And then it comes into the battle area. And the delay effect doesn't really matter as much. You're really using this as kind of a pseudo HPD, but it feels pretty good when you get this off and you're able to do 4 checks, because essentially with Return of the Primo, if you guys watch the video, you'll have the Pyodramon, you'll swing, unsuspend, swing, that's 2 checks, and then you will Return to the Primo for 2, and then you go into Magnamon for free. Magnamon's effect, you're probably going to have an armor underneath, so then you gain 3,000, become unaffected, and then it unsuspends, and then you swing, and then because you swing into a security, and then because of a security card gets removed, you unsuspend again, and then you swing. So that's 4 checks just like that, and then you can top it off with a Rune mode Digivolution to essentially seal the deal. So that is really, really nasty. It's the go-to once you have everything in hand. With all the draw power, it's pretty easy to get that going. So only 2. I wish I could run more, but there's not really any space. Like I said, I'm still kind of messing around with the deck a little bit. I feel like it definitely has some room for improvement. Of course, you can change it the way you want, but this is how I'm running it right now. I have 1 Heaven's Judgment. This card is just so good for removal. I felt like I really did need at least one of the... It's weird because I don't want to run this, but I feel like I absolutely need to, just in case I run into something like Tyrant. This card would come in so clutch. Otherwise, I feel like that would be kind of a hard matchup. I'm not gonna lie. So at least a 1 of. I don't want to run 2 just because the deck space is so tight, but I think it gives me comfort knowing that there's at least 1. It's great in security too. So the next option, 2 Awakening of the Golden Knight. It's an armor deck. It's Magnamon. Sometimes you're not going to be able to Jogress using the Pyodramon effect just because you don't have the pieces. But using Awakening the Golden Knight, you can jump straight into your Magna. So it's super nice when you combo this with something like Davis and Ken. You play a rookie, you Digivolve into your armor form, and then you just go straight into Awakening the Golden Knight. All of a sudden, you have nothing on board, and then you have an unkillable 15k immune to effects blocker Magnamon. So, yeah, not much to say about that. And then the last card, we have 1 Hammer Spark. Hammer Spark is just great utilization. of memory in case you need that extra push, because these armors do not have the same effect as Stigmon. Sometimes you need that extra memory to be able to extend your turn, and that's what Hammer Spark is for. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys like the deck. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.